budget after merging earlier this year.
Right now on Denver 7 News at 8 o'clock on Local 3. Here we go again. The CDC is changing COVID recommendations just before the start of school. Plus,
what's weird is that I feel it, but I don't see my hand feeling it.
Wow, the new technology allowing Colorado firefighters to take their training to the next level. And
other neighbors are breaking into the homes, knocking down doors, trying to make sure everyone is okay.
yeah, the quick response from Aurora residents after a fire ripped through several homes.
I love you, neighbors. You're wonderful. You did the right thing.
You see the damage. It's amazing everyone made it out safely, but it's because they had each other's backs in that moment. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Jessica Crawford. We're taking a live look outside from our Mile High cam. It's 8:01, another hot day on tap, but a really gorgeous looking, nice, clear sky out there.
Yeah, it is a really beautiful start to our morning across the state. A lot of sunshine, dry conditions and temperatures right now at 74 degrees in Denver. It will heat up pretty dramatically though this afternoon, especially compared to yesterday. We're expecting high 90s to return both today and tomorrow for our highs. A few thunderstorms will be possible into the late afternoon and early evening hours, but more widespread moisture expected for the weekend. This morning though, all is dry and mild. Castle Rock, you're at 70 degrees currently with 50s now into Leadville, from Steamboat Springs nearing 60 degrees in Aspen, where it will be warmer from the mountains to the plains. So for today, here's your hourly planner. By noon, getting to around 90 and daytime highs topping out about 5 to even 10 degrees above average over the eastern plains. Risk of any severe weather statewide will be low. It will mainly be a dry day for the metro area with most of the scattered thunderstorms expected south of I-70, and those daytime highs, whew, a scorcher of a Thursday, Jason. We're in the upper 90s both today and tomorrow.
And right now we have better driving conditions getting up to Thornton and Erie and on up to Longmont. It was started with a rollover truck that was on its side for some time. This is the remnants of it right here. And you see these folks are just sailing right now on the northbound side. But we're still going to we're waiting to get to that point. We're at 144, the 136, and 120. So traffic is starting to move. It's starting to unwind as lanes are open. But it's just going to take a bit of time. If you see the travel times right now are still registering on the map at about 60 minutes. Just a little bit ago, it was registering as an hour and a half. So it is getting better. Do not use the side streets right now. They are very much jammed up, especially out to the east side of I-25. We have somebody who stalled out southbound I-25 right after 104th Avenue, right next to the express lane. That's what's hanging up the drive from 120th heading south, and then it's going to be slow again across downtown Denver. Those are the two major problems for your morning drive right now on the freeways. No other freeway difficulties right now, but it's just going to be busy in some of those usual spots for you.
Breaking news, a Russian court will deliver its verdict against WNBA star Britney Griner today. Just hours ago, prosecutors asked for a 9.5-year sentence, a huge blow to the defense that was asking for leniency. Griner pleaded guilty to having hash oil in her luggage. The U.S. says she was wrongfully detained and is working on a prisoner swap for her and another American in exchange for a Russian arms dealer.
Also developing this morning, the CDC is changing its COVID guidance right before the start of school. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon explains why many of their recommendations could roll back this year.
I'm in Highlands Ranch outside of Sand Creek Elementary School, which is part of the Douglas County School District. Like you guys said, the first one going back to school that first day, right around the corner on Monday. And it's a part of a district where the fight over masking actually led to dissolve a regional health department that had been in place for more than 50 years. DougCo updated its COVID plans in January and notes the old CDC guidance that will soon be outdated. CNN got a preview of the expected plans from the CDC. They report it'll ease quarantine recommendations for people exposed to COVID and won't have such an emphasis on the 6 feet rule for social distancing. It could also remove a recommendation that came during the first Omicron wave, where students exposed would take regular tests to remain in the classroom. There's also an expected push for schools to focus on their ventilation, encouraging more clean air inside of buildings. Now, those changes are still being worked on, meaning they're not final as of this morning. CNN reports the changes could be publicly released by this week, though. Of course, different cities, states, and districts can follow different plans. The CDC's recommendations are only guidance. This is the first school year where the COVID-19 vaccines are available for all school-age children. Here in Douglas County, though, those vaccines are not required for students or staff. In Highlands Ranch, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Colette, thank you. In about an hour, the Department of Homeland Security is expected to give an update on monkeypox and how the Biden administration is responding to the outbreak. More than 25,000 cases have been reported globally, about a quarter of those right here in the U.S., including 5 kids. And while the White House has yet to declare it a national emergency, President Biden appointed 2 top federal officials to oversee the nation's monkeypox response. Denver's Department of Public Health is monitoring monkeypox exposure at the Diamond Cabaret. Health officials say the strip club has been fully cooperative throughout the process. They confirmed a case of monkeypox in mid-July and have notified staff members who had close contact with an infected employee. There have been 75 confirmed cases of monkeypox in Colorado this year, and of those, 55 of them are in Denver. 12,000 doses of the current monkeypox vaccine have been allocated for Colorado. While more than 1 million have been distributed across the U.S., Moderna is considering creating a new monkeypox vaccine with its mRNA technology. We heard about mRNA technology a lot during the COVID pandemic. The company's president says it's in early research stages right now.
Several Aurora families are still out of their homes after a huge fire. This happened on Whitaker Drive, just a few blocks from Quincy Reservoir. But take a look at the images here. It is an older neighborhood with large trees. You can see neighbors say the flames towered over the trees, though. Robert Lees called 911 and also tried to help his neighbors escape.
I also grabbed my hose, I turned it on, I just started getting stuff wet. I'm like, whatever it takes, you know, to help stop whatever. I'm going to do that part. Other neighbors are breaking into the homes, knocking down doors, trying to make sure everyone is okay. To me, that was the best thing out of this whole rotten tragedy, was to see how the community came together and really helped each other out.
Extensive damage, obviously, and it's going to be a while before they're able to find a permanent place to stay. Aurora fire crews are still working to figure out how this fire started.
Police in Glendale are looking for this man, 31-year-old Brandon Camacho Levine. He's wanted after escaping custody at Rose Medical Center. Camacho Levine first arrested Sunday for car theft at an apartment community off of Colorado. After his arrest and being transported for care, Camacho became violent, fighting medical staff before escaping custody. If you have information about his whereabouts, contact Glendale PD. This morning, we're hearing from one of the victims in a horrifying hate crime in Aurora. A man tried to set people on fire because they were speaking Spanish. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is digging into how common crimes like this are.
Well, as you can imagine, both men, they are still really shaken up, and they're actually friends. They've only been in the U.S. for about 4 months. They came here from Colombia to try and expand a business that they have back at home. That stop at that Aurora gas station, it was supposed to be a really quick one. Just fill up on gas and then go on their way. Instead, one of those victims that I spoke with ended up being doused in gasoline, his car keys stolen, even a rock thrown through his back car window. A gas station employee who rolled into work just as the suspect was leaving said he went straight to the back and watched that surveillance video. He said he was shocked and obviously really upset by what he saw.
I play music in the store most of the time in Spanish. I speak Spanish to most of the customers. And for them to feel or see that, you know, someone got poured gas on them for just speaking Spanish is very, very frightening, you know.
Unfortunately, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. In Aurora, the police department actually set up a bias-motivated unit last year to investigate hate crimes and arrest the people who commit them. Take a look at this. Over the last 6 months of last year, just under 20 hate crimes were reported to Aurora PD. Those included crimes against a person's race and sexual orientation. This year, those numbers are even higher. Aurora police have responded to 23 hate crimes. This is just in the last 7 months. As for the suspect in this gas station attack, police say they still really do need your help identifying him and finding him. He's on your screen right here, so take a good look at him. Police saying that he took off in that car that you see there as well, a dark colored sedan. Now, anyone with information is being encouraged to give Aurora Police a call. You can do that over at 303-627-1661. You can also email them at stophate@auroragov.org. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Thank you, Veronica. Coming up, the new health warning over emissions for people living near a Lakewood industrial plant.
And the good news when it comes to the cleanup process for one community impacted by the Marshall Fire.